going on, everybody? Nick here. Thanks for tuning in. So for this Music Monday, I figured we'd try it for a video format. You know, it's 2021. Give it a little spice up than your regular text. Here we go. So basically for this Music Monday, I figured we'd talk about all of the different data that came in from Nielsen and MCR data for all of the music that happened through 2020. You know, we had a crazy year with obviously Corona impacting a lot of our live events for the music industry. However, streaming, audio, listening, all that kind of fluctuated a lot as well and really increased this year. The big takeaways for this last year of 2020 include the actual audio consumption of albums increasing by 12.7%. On-demand audio streams were also increased to 17% from the last year. Vinyl records actually saw the continuing of their growth for the 15th straight year in a row. Album units, for our purposes, are kind of just equated into a few different ways. One obviously being sales, so one album sale would equate to one album sale. You have your track sales, track equivalents of 10 different individual tracks on the album being sold at a specific time. And then obviously we have your streaming. Every 3,750 ad-supported streams will equate to one sale of that album. And 1,250 will equate, if you are a paid subscriber to various services, will also equate to one sale of that. One thing that we should note as well is for 2020, this is the first time we're actually taking in video streams. So you might hear a lot of things with audio being compromised, but you're also utilizing now those YouTube, Vimeo, what have yous into the actual sales and data for songs, albums, etc. We had My Turn by Lil Baby being actually the most popular album based off of Nielsen and MCR's data, and that was from a 2.63 million album units specifically. What's really interesting about My Turn is the third year on record where we're seeing the R&B and hip-hop records just being the most popular throughout the nation, and this has been pretty consistent with streaming just being that huge driver for that genre. Though My Baby's My Turn was the most streamed album, Folklore by Taylor Swift, which shouldn't be any surprise by anybody, the most sold album throughout the year, and it's the only album that actually sold 1 million copies. Now, what I always really thought was interesting was that streaming was actually down for a little bit, this huge influx of streaming just overall for the year, but if you see some of the records, it kind of goes into like the highlight of what happened with Corona, the huge impact, and streaming was actually down for a bit. You know, we didn't know if we were going to be releasing albums at this point. You know, a lot of places like restaurants, workout facilities, etc., where they had music streaming services all the time just played on in their background, they weren't open, so what was the point? So we're seeing lots and lots of less audio streaming at this point, but again, people were looking for music. They needed something to do. They were trying to figure out what they were going to do in quarantine, and streaming eventually came into this huge influx of just more and more people, whether it was through video or through audio streaming. It was just an absolute game changer. One of my favorite things of this absolutely crazy year was that we saw albums decline less than we have since 2015. Obviously, albums have been kind of just physical albums, and album sales have been on the decline just due to the easiness of getting streaming onto your platforms and your cell phones. Not a lot of people are utilizing the fact that they can purchase albums anymore. However, it was an absolute game changer for this year because, again, those vinyls are really exploding. For 2020, we had 51 albums sell more than 50,000 vinyl records, which is absolutely unheard of. If you look at 2019's data, only 23 sold 50,000 more, and that's more than double. Another really interesting part of that is that we're seeing a few of these newer records, kind of like Harry Styles, your Billie Eilish's, where, you know, everyone loves these records, and again, they're a collector item, but we're also seeing a lot of legacy hits, Queen being one of them, Bob Marley. So yes, we're seeing these new artists kind of really utilize those vinyl record sales, but even if you're this legacy artist, you still have a great opportunity to still stay in that top 10. The number one selling song in the United States for this year was BTS's Dynamite. BTS ARMY stans are absolutely wild in a good way. Don't come for me. And they are the only fan base that was able to help drive the sales of BTS's Dynamite this year to 1 million sales. The only single that was able to do that with Blinding Lights coming up second at 580,000. Again, it was really interesting to see their rollout for that single this year with just so many different versions of it, your 80s version, your Christmas version, your instrumental, just remixes all around. So definitely a cool way to see that rollout happen for our number one selling song. For our streaming number one, we have The Box by Roddy Ricch, who had a banner of a year, hopping on two of the biggest tracks with The Box, and obviously Lil Baby's Rockstar. And then finally, our number one radio impression, you guessed it, Blinding Lights, followed by Circles. Then finally, our third, Dua Lipa with Don't Start Now. I'm really excited for 2021. I don't really know what to expect. Again, I think our big things that we're going to see is that we already have a lot of Latin fusion. I really think we're going to see a lot of more, not so much one-hit wonders, but with the idea of TikTok just blowing up in 2020, I think we're going to see a lot of things where either marketing is going to be really specific for those type of songs. I think we're going to continue seeing streaming songs and just popular songs in general kind of stick to that under 3-minute version of the songs, unless they can be aided by a remix of some sort to assist with the newer dynamic and new additions to give a new life to a single that might be released later on in the new year. And then I don't know, I think that we should see a lot more of just, not one-hit wonders, like I said, but I think we're going to see a lot more people with the opportunity to become viral sensations and to have opportunities to become big parts of the music industry, all thanks to TikTok. So we'll see how TikTok really brings up things. Again, we could talk about TikTok in another video, but basically I just wanted to talk about that for this year. I want to thank Billboard for reporting this. Love Keith. Been following him and Billboard Hot 100 since I was a wee lad back in high school, about 11 years. So again, shout out to you guys. Definitely keep tuning in for Music Mondays. This might come out on a Tuesday. I'm sorry, because I, again, don't know what I'm doing. But keep on watching. Keep on staying tuned on LinkedIn. I'm really looking forward to this year, see how everything goes, and make some moves. So thank you again, and have a great rest of your week.